Let's talk non-physical, non-physical. Let's talk non-physical. Let's talk non-physical. Let us have some spirit talk. Some spirit talk. Let us have some spirit talk.
So okay, what about we start a 5-minute, I call it freestyle. So we close our eyes and on the first one, maybe we don't talk. So we wait till the program says 5 minutes and session ended, and then we talk about what we saw. Are you okay with it?
I can do it as well if you want.
Okay, so if you guys are ready, I'm gonna start this thing again. Do you see my screen?
I actually see that, yeah.
You see like a black thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when I start the counter and it's gonna say something session started, then we close our eyes and try to see something, whatever is of your choice or whatever comes to you. It's like free. Feel relaxed and let's see whatever comes.
And we keep it to ourselves for now, yeah?
Yeah, after the audio says session ended, that is going to be in 5 minutes, then we talk.
Okay, no problem.
So ready? I'm going to do 3, 2, 1.
I heard like
So who wants to start?
Well, at first I could only see after images of the phone, and then it turned into a door. I was in the dark room, and this door is shut, but there's a luminous outline. So in my imagination, I decided to go through it, and I came upon this desert landscape at night, and I began to visualize the Milky Way at a 90-degree angle, and I just focused on that. And the more I focused on it, it didn't look like the Milky Way. It began to look like a different galaxy, different arrangement of stars. And I was just playing around with that. And that's pretty much the extent of my visualization.
No, but it was good. It was rich. What do you mean by 90-degree angle?
So a 90-degree angle to the line of the horizon. So there's like this desert. It's like several dunes, and then the galaxy would be at a straight angle, vertical to the line of the horizon.
But do you mean you would see like a back screen, something like a back screen?
It's like a night sky, but most of the stars are concentrated around the galaxy. So basically, the galaxy is quite luminous. It's like almost like a beam.
Oh, you mean it wasn't covering the whole visual area, right? It was only like a piece of it.
Most of the sky was practically dark, but the stars and the galaxy were in the middle.
Oh, I see, like a vertical. That's why you say 90 degrees.
A 90-degree angle to the line of the horizon, yeah.
So how wide was that area? Or as a percentage of the whole width, how much would you say is the percentage of that? Let's say like 10% of the whole thing, or?
I would say the galaxy was perhaps like 20% of the whole thing, of the whole sky.
Okay,
But,
that
but
sounds good.
yeah, but then the dunes, the desert, like the sand, I'd say was wider.
That makes sense. And what about the colors of the sun, especially? How many colors have you seen?
There were hints. It's like very faint, like outlines of the dunes, like the yellow light. It was like a faint, pale, white yellow light being reflected, from the galaxy onto the
That's
sand.
nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's like I couldn't see the whole desert. It was just like hints of it, like yellow lines hinting at dunes, if that makes sense.
So you also saw some differences in shades, like
Yeah,
in this. That's very rich scenery.
thinking about it, the desert was actually a bit foggy. It wasn't very well defined. It wasn't like crisp, crystal clear. It was more like a foggy desert. You could see the dunes, but it was a bit hazy.
But it's still rich in shapes and colors, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely gave me a sensation like I was there, looking at, the
But by the way, were you able to perceive some motion, like you were getting closer when you were seeing the dunes, or it was static?
I would say initially when I went through the doorway, there was a perceived slow motion. So I went through the doorway, through the door practically, because it was shut. It looked like it was shut. And then when I came upon the desert and the sky, then I stopped and I just fixated on it. And the dunes seemed to be static, but the stars and the galaxy seemed to move, to shift, like almost like blinking, but the stars would shift and move around.
That's very rich, in my opinion. And also you got some moving forward. That's a good feature when you say you went through that doorway.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty good feature. So I would say you're no longer in level 1. You're at least level 2 now.
Maybe it's just,
So,
yeah.
but
I am an artist, so maybe that helps. I don't know. I don't know
no,
how it.
it's possible.
I,
It's possible because it helps with imagination, with colors, with shades.
yeah, yeah.
Zoltan, you want to go next?
But I am at level -1 because I saw only blackness, nothing else.
Really, nothing like a little lighter, or
No,
it was always static and.
yes. And sometimes sun is shine to my eyes, so it was like light.
Well, maybe if you see something a little different, maybe you can try to focus on that, and also maybe try to do something like this with the fingers, like for next time, so that you move it like so that when you move your eyes a little bit, you put a little pressure, not too much, so that when you do like this, it might change what you see and get some variations. So I think for you, I recommend we play like this with the fingers. And another thing I recommend you to do is when you get a chance, try to be outside or with some strong light. If you can look at the sun, go like this with the sun, because the sun is going to give you colors. So and then you can play a little bit with the motion like this, and you can have more colors to play with by looking at some strong light source.
Okay.
So I recommend you so that way you're gonna start getting more variations. I think that's gonna open you to channel a little more, little by little, and get more stuff. That's my guess.
Okay, thanks.
And Michael,
Okay, so I'd say to Arlindo, congratulations.
yeah, I was
Impressed with what you.
impressed.
I I would give it a grade 5 if we're talking, you know, from grades 1 to 20 or something. I don't know. It's pretty impressive. And as far as for Zoltan, I would suggest, you know, I would just say that, you know, when I first started, you know, a few months ago, yeah, I mean, when I get what I was getting at the very beginning, and in some ways I still do in a certain way, it's just black, but maybe like a little bit of noise or something, and it's indiscriminate. You don't really. But when I saw my visualization, which might have been within, we call the main field of view, but it might have also been within sort of like a layer, is it started off as I was visualizing the letter O, black letter O, and then it suddenly became like an engagement ring. It was like this little sort of object sticking out from the O on one area. And then the ring started to rotate where the object remains not stationary, but it didn't move, it just rotated, and the whole O went around in a circle around that object.
What was the object? Sorry, what was the object?
An engagement ring. That's the way I would describe it.
No, but you said that the O. Oh, so there were two things: the O and the ring.
Yeah. So the O became an engagement ring. So the O part became the ring part of the ring, and then this little extra object, kind of like a cube. Like
Oh, the other object was a
a
cube.
a little white object, looks like a diamond or something.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And then it rotated around that quote unquote diamond, but it wasn't quite a diamond. It looked, I don't know. Anyways, then at some point it broke apart in half, so that half the diamond and half the ring broke apart, and half the diamond, half the ring, and then it looked a little bit like a small shovel on both sides, and it was pointing down, and so I imagined it kind of like those like a hoe or a shovel, and it was sort of digging in dirt, and I was imagining it that they were planting seeds. Okay. And then at some point, I imagine then the seeds started to sprout, and it formed like alfalfa sprouts, just like these sort of boring but light green with like maybe the original leaves of the seeds. But then it kept growing and growing and kind of spiraling as it grew, and I was just watching it. It's like I was, as a viewer, I was moving and watching it as it was growing, but it continued more like a beanstalk than anything else. Like it seemed like like each individual seed just kept growing and growing and forming a vine around it. So if you had, let's say, 20 of these, they were all kind of growing as a vine around each other, and every once in a while sprouting a leaf. And that was pretty much it for the 5 minutes. But I felt like it symbolized sort of like growing like a soul or something. Like it starts off, you know, you just plant in the ground and then it grows. But because it's growing in a group, they each support each other as they're growing. So they all kind of form like a solidified branch as they're growing upward. That was it.
Very interesting, because you didn't actually aim at that, right? It was like you received that, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like before. It's sort of like a cartoon animation telling a story, or at least a story that I interpret.
Very good. So actually, you also at least level 3, I would say. Good imagination and several options. What about the colors?
Very limited, very limited. I would say that maybe the beanstalk was like a light white with maybe the slightest tinge of green, but otherwise black background. So it was either white on black or black on white, depending on the situation.
Oh, sometimes you got the background switch to light up.
It all remained black mostly, but like the objects, like the diamond and the shovel metal might have been a little bit white. But yeah.
And what about the leaves or those things that were?
It was very, very simplistic. Like they always remained the stock part. It was multiple vines all going around each other, but they were all like just curved white lines, and then the leaf was always like almost like a small circular white. So it wasn't very detailed. The leaves weren't like multi-point.
So you were seeing as white in contrast with the darker background, right?
Yes, yes.
So no much signs of other colors, like more like in the gray scale. Okay. Maybe for you, I also recommend try playing more with light sources, because that's going to give you more colors, and then maybe play around light sources, intermediate, so that you can maybe bring more colors to your next practices.
He's vanished. Oh, he's
Yeah,
back.
he got a call from from the consciousness system. Okay, well, my turn now. I think I wanted to say something, but now I forgot about Michael or something. In my case, I saw again something, and it happened to me only like a couple of days ago. I started seeing my face. It's kind of weird. Maybe also now because I was looking at me, waiting for you guys. So when I closed the eyes, I started seeing myself. And then other faces, similar. I also saw eyes again. And this is kind of curious that I mean, when I was having the practice last weekend with Michael, I also saw eyes often. So I don't know, maybe there's a connection that when I am in the practice with Skype, the eyes come. Maybe it might be a symbol that we get some entities looking at this. Now that I'm thinking of, that they are actually getting vibrations now here. So I think it might be a sign that we are having some company. So those eyes might be signs of presence of somebody watching us. I don't see any signs of anything being bad, or maybe curiosity, maybe some members of our teams, something like that. And then also, I think I was influenced by the pictures I sent you earlier about the sky and the mountains, and I saw something similar. I saw more with blue colors in the background. It wasn't one of my best sceneries, but it was pretty decent. I mean, what else? I think I might miss something else, but I think the most important things were nothing extraordinary, but something. Oh yeah, I remember one thing. At some point, I took like a little break of some seconds, and I was thinking about what to do next with you guys, and I was thinking about the maybe play the, because I've been trying to play that, the Lion King trailer. I think it's about 4 minutes. But when I was thinking about doing that, I saw the big lion. I saw then some cartoon like similar to Lion King cartoons, cartoon animals. Not a lot of clear motion, like very slow motion or static images. Not a lot of consistent, rich colors, but some colors. So it was decent, not extraordinary, but something. So at least I have some variations, you know, something. Well, maybe it's my view of seeing certain things. I'm happy about Arlindo and Michael, and I usually try to, in a group, go with whoever is wants to give the first steps. And so in this case, Zoltan. So I wonder if maybe we can try something like the Lion King or something with a video, so that way, especially maybe for Zoltan, can bring something to see in general, and then maybe my idea is to you can choose another video, or we can play more than one. In my case, I say we can start with the Lion King one, and then after it's done, maybe either say something if you already got something, or close your eyes and wait for a bit till you see maybe something related with what you just saw. So basically, be flexible about the time from when you start watching it, because you can also, you watch it, you can, in the middle of the watching the video, you can close your eyes a little bit and open them again, for example. I mean, you can feel free about how you combine what you're watching with what you're trying.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
What is it this practice good for?
Well, to try to use an existing video to use it as an input for them try to see something related to it, because that can help. If I watch, for example, if I choose a video of tigers and the video is 10 minutes and I watch the tigers for 10 minutes, if I close my eyes, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see tigers, and they're not gonna be, because I've done something like that. I've done that multiple times, and the tigers won't be exactly like the ones I saw. They're gonna be different. So basically, it's like you get into the theme. Not necessarily you're gonna see exactly the same things. In my case, at least, I might see something related. I might see animals that are not exactly the tiger, something else. But it's like I'm in the topic, in the theme.
So do you see it in that blackness with your eyes, or in your imagination?
It's the same thing for me.
For me not.
Huh?
For me not.
Yeah, no, Zoltan, I'm like you. There's like memory, and then there's the visual field. And yeah, the visual field for me tends to be pretty black. But one thing that I just want to add is, so like I used to play when I was younger. I used to play Tetris for hours, and then when you close your eyes, you actually could see the Tetris blocks.
Mhm.
So in other words, if you imprint long enough, you'll start to see things. But the other experiments that we might do later also is where we literally stare at a fixed object for a few seconds, and then when you close your eyes, you at least get the after image, and that's a good start.
Oh, maybe, do you want to do, Sultan, first a letter? I can display a letter and we try the letter.
You just stare at it, yeah, and then you get like an after image from your photoreceptors. So it's like a bare minimum, but
Let's try that first. I'm going to share the screen and we try a letter. I like an H, but you guys maybe choose something else, because the H has a nice horizontal. What letter would you like? This is a
Doesn't
voting
matter.
system. Huh?
that's sorry.
Doesn't matter.
What?
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
H is fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so am I still sharing the screen? Let me see.
Yeah, you have been this whole time. It's okay.
What? Oh, I was still sharing the screen.
Yeah, so we have like doubles of everything, which is fine.
Okay, let me go. So do you see this?
Yes.
So letters H. So let's start with the defaults. So I'm gonna start mousing over, so it's all black. So wait a minute, should we do it? But that's the problem. I didn't prepare an audio counter for less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes might be too much. So let's
Can
Just
I have a question?
approximate, and let's do it for approximately 1 minute or less. I don't know. Okay, let's start. Stare at the edge, and then I'm gonna move the mouse, and then you're gonna focus on the white area, and most probably you're gonna see an edge there. Okay, so stare at the edge. Okay, stare at the white.
Yeah, I can see a shadowy H against the white background straight away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think this can help open your channels to visualize stuff. Let's try another letter. So now you guys. Somebody choose a letter. Somebody that likes a particular letter.
Let's go with an A.
Okay. So let's do it one more time with an A. It's fine? Okay. Okay. Stare at the white.
Yes, there is a shadow of A.
Yeah, in my case, I started getting afterwards a triangle in the A. It's like the center started getting smaller, right? In my case, at least with the A. With
So-
H, it was pretty.
So there's two things I want to comment. One is try to focus when you do a focus on a letter in the future. Focus on a very specific part. Like you want to keep your gaze on like almost like a point. That way it won't blur the after image. The other thing too I noticed from doing this a lot is that I get an after image for a few seconds, then it disappears. But then if I keep waiting, it comes back again, and then it goes away, and then it comes back again, and it goes away. So it kind of bounces as it disappears. And what I found is by doing this enough, I start to almost be able to keep the after image like much longer than
So you guys, you're trying to become a clairvoyant, right?
He's done a runner.
What is he doing? What is that you said something?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So did you read books from Rudolf Steiner?
Who?
Rudolf Steiner or
No.
some other mystics?
No.
Because what are you doing is the
I
Tratak
haven't
type.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. No.
Yeah, Tratak type. Tratak means staring at something. Usually it is a candle, and see some stuff around it, because candle is much more stronger than anything else. And this is the usual technique from mystics, which are prepare people for clairvoyant stuff or mystical experiences or spiritual development.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, usually with mystics, the only one I tend to listen to more is what's his name, Alan Watts.
Yeah.
But it tends to be more philosophical. I was going to say when you displayed the A letter, and then I looked at the white background, I could only see two shadowy columns. I couldn't see the bit in the middle, but the one that gave me more scope for, to play with my imagination was the white A against a black background, because I imagined it to be a road. And then my imagination begins to develop. It's like a slow evolution. Suddenly I'm on that road and it's all dark and I'm following the road, and the road is lit on either side by two lines and going towards a horizon or a perceived horizon. It begins to things begin to take shape in my imagination. But then the root of the whole thing stems from the letter A. It's really strange because all it takes is a simple root, a simple beginning. Like the origins can be as simple as the letter A, and then it can develop into something else. It's a bit like what Michael was describing with the letter O, and then all of a sudden it just branched out into something else. Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, that's my experience anyway. Very easily, all it takes is something very simple for my imagination to play with it and to grow, and it tends to do that in the space of seconds, even if it's like a slow evolution, like a gradual change. And if I want to, I can just drop everything and create something else. I can just drop everything that stemmed from that letter, and then if my mind wants to go somewhere else, I can just completely erase the whole thing and start afresh. So anything can develop from something simple, but at the same time you can also develop from your own imagination, if that makes sense. You don't
But
need
can you do it with keeping your eyes open?
I can do it with my eyes open. Yeah.
So you can start seeing like a superposed layer, you mean?
If I focus on my imagination, I can ignore the visuals around me, and it can become really rich in my imagination.
So
But
it is not in visual area.
right, if I block my eyes, then it's harder for me to see something straight away. It's almost like blocking my eyes will force me to focus on the dark background, and I'm forcing myself to create something out of that black background, if that makes, it's almost like I'm more restricted if I block my eyes. Whereas if I'm already used to the colorful environment around me from the world around me, then I can, because it's something that's my default mode while I'm awake, I can just completely ignore it and daydream. It's like a daydream, but it can become really vivid, like I'm really there. And if I'm not focusing on talking to you guys, well, obviously if I'm in a quiet room, it gets even richer. It gets to the point where I could go to the realm of fantasies where, sometimes I imagine entering a flying saucer and inviting people on my flying saucer and visiting other planets, other worlds, and traveling through space. It can really become rich.
So you get the qualia, right? You get the shapes, the colors of
The quality, yeah.
And when you close your eyes, does it get better, or do you play about closing and opening eyes?
I think if I close my eyes, I'm confronted with the dark background, and for me it seems to become harder. But perhaps it's because I haven't practiced with my eyes shut that much. Usually when I have my eyes shut and I meditate, it's usually when I try to induce wake initiated lucid dreams. But I tend to meditate with my eyes open, and
No, that's good. I think because of doing it so often, it became pretty good. So you should keep doing that. I don't see any reason why. But
I think,
maybe some variation sometimes do something a bit different to see if we get something different too.
yeah,
But anyway, it's very important what you do. I mean, because that means you are channeling something.
yeah,
You keep your eyes open, but then another channel gets closer to you, and then you have like that the first channel, the physical channel, can get in like in the back or get ignored, like you said.
yeah, yeah.
So that's a good approach, actually. Good thing to try. So
I try to wrestle with, like you said, you spoke about focus before. I try to wrestle with that, and it depends on what state you're in or what state you're trying to achieve. Like, for example, if you're trying to grab a dream while you're lucid and you start to get the visuals, if you focus on them too much, they can just disappear. So it's like finding a balance. It's like, okay, I can't initially focus on the visuals too much, otherwise they're just going to disappear. So I'm going to kind of like just let it come and absorb me, but not lose myself too much. It's like there seems to be like a balance to be struck there, you know.
but just to let you know, it doesn't happen to me. If I concentrate in a lucid dreaming and visuals, I don't get
That's
anything.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that maybe that's happening to you right now. It doesn't mean it's gonna always happen. Maybe it might change.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
because if you keep assuming that it's always gonna be like that, you might add a belief that counters. I mean, keeps being there, and because of your belief, you might get into those things again.
The mind is a tricky thing, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. If you start to believe in something, then it becomes real, and you find yourself in a trap. Yeah, I also try to bear that in mind. You know, like, is it really that way? And you know, is this really a general restriction, or can I actually break this? Am I creating these manacles, or is it like a rule, a general rule? But then I think to myself, no, I must try to see if I can break out of this. If there's
Yeah,
more,
at least if you know that it doesn't happen to other people, that can give you an idea that it might stop for you. Or I mean, it
it
doesn't
tells
need
me
to be something fixed.
if you can do it, then it's possible. You know, so it
Yeah,
tells me it's possible, and I can also do it
but
with
in
practice.
any case, you can maybe try the William Buhlman clarity now, or something that you say or think that can bring more clarity to the experience again, like you pump it up again.
I see. I didn't know he did. He worked with visualization. I thought William Bullman was just OBEs and stuff like that.
No, he didn't say it for visualization. He says it for being out of body or astral projecting. That
Yeah,
sometimes he said that he wasn't seeing clear enough. He was losing the clarity in the experience. So then
yeah.
he boosted up again by saying some affirmation. Let's say clarity now or this now is something like strong. That's how it worked for him and for other people. That
I
wishing
expectation.
that strong is like forcing, like no, like I don't want. Come now, clarity now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
then,
see.
yeah,
It's a bit like saying, like closing your eyes. If you want to say you separate into a replica of your bedroom, but you say you want to go to the moon and you want to teleport there, you can just close your eyes, and instead of like just saying, "Oh, I must believe that I'm already on the moon," you could just think, you could just expect it already, like a more direct thing. I am standing on the moon right now. I can feel the floor, and this floor isn't my bedroom floor. It's the moon. It's the lunar soil. I'm there now, and when I open my eyes, I'm already there, and
that's
that's
good.
it.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good way to see it.
Yeah.
Basically, the key is to think that be optimistic about what you can do. If it doesn't happen, also think, okay, I couldn't do it today, but maybe tomorrow. You see,
Yeah.
be optimistic, but if you don't get it at the same time, don't be pessimistic because you didn't get what you wanted. So you say, well, today wasn't the day, tomorrow or later. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Have a relaxed approach at the same time.
Right, right.
Actually tried these.
Which fireplace? This one, Michael?
Yeah, I like that
I
one.
have 3 actually, right? I have 3 fireplaces. So
Yeah,
which one you
Yeah,
want to
let's
try?
start with that relaxing fireplace. Let's just try that for a little bit. It's
that
really,
helps
I don't know
sleep.
which one is the relaxing. Just tell me
oh,
the
it's
one with the
the
cat,
one on the top left right now.
top left.
I read that, yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is you look at it for a little bit and then you close your eyes and see if you can still see it. That's what I do. So you kind of alternate between eyes closed and eyes open.
I actually keep thinking about what Arlindo was saying. I think I'm gonna try his approach more. I think I did it sometimes. Like get so into the fireplace that you start. I mean, I don't know how to call it, imagination or whatever. I call it also channeling to see what else comes up related to watching this and beyond what you're seeing.
Yeah. It's like the after image gives rise to something else, and it gives birth to other things. It's like branching out.
And another way of saying is that what you're seeing helps you get into the zone. And once you are in the zone,
Yeah.
you're on fire. You're in the zone and you're on fire. Well, Michael, let me know when you want to, when you got burned enough.
Okay. Well, I just want to tell you what I saw. It's kind of interesting. When I close my eyes, I see like a city scene. It looks like it's a dark sky and there's buildings on the ground. It's really weird. and then there's like a faded, like a slightly illuminated sky. Anybody else get any weird effects?
How about the one on the left?
I like the sound on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting vibrations in the crown, my head.
Yes, this is
I think it's the music. The music helps me.
this is
Getting some vibration.
important for you. You should connect sound with visualization.